My name is Alan Rossi, and this is the Week 5 discussion for HIUS 512, The American Revolution. According to Laurel Thatcher Ulrich, women's stories encompassed many themes, but they were animated by civic pride and an insistence that women, no less than men, created a new nation. One such example of a builder of the American nation is Mercy Warren. Although not as well known as her contemporaries Betsy Ross and Abigail Adams, Mercy Otis Warren was a highly accomplished political activist, author, patriot, political philosopher, and advisor to a great number of leaders of the colonial resistance to the crown. And it's an individuals that would mold our country in early years. She's considered one of the first authors to write a history of the American Revolution in 1805, along with a host of political satires that she published aimed at the British tyranny in the 1770s, and collections of poems and plays in the 1790s. She was surrounded by important male figures of the time period, of course her father being Colonel James Otis Sr. and her brother, whom she had an extremely close relationship with, was James Otis Jr. She married James Warren, who was a well-known merchant during this time period in Plymouth, Massachusetts. These figures provided Mercy with a great deal of knowledge on the situation prior and during the American Revolution. But in many ways, she surpassed them in terms of influence upon those who would come to shape our nation. Mercy Otis was the daughter of Colonel James Otis, a famous lawyer of colonial Massachusetts, and the sister of James Otis Jr., a Boston patriot who coined the phrase, "Taxation without representation is tyranny." She was self-educated and tutored with the help of Reverend Jonathan Russell and his library. As a young girl, she was not allowed or offered the luxury of attending school. Mercy's husband was none other than James Warren, who became the president of the Massachusetts Provincial Congress. Warren and his wife were both staunch anti-federalists. Mercy's husband witnessed her talent with the pen and encouraged his wife to develop her writing skills. She eventually became his chief correspondent. The couple often hosted such dignitaries as George Washington and the Sons of Liberty. She took advantage of her close ties with so many leaders of the rebellion against England, advising such notables as John Adams, Patrick Henry, Thomas Jefferson, and Samuel Adams. John Adams even referred to her as the most accomplished lady in America. In the 1770s, she anonymously published a series of satires which ridiculed the British authorities. In 1788, she distributed a pamphlet which argued against ratifying the U.S. Constitution, which was a topic of heated debate at the time. She finally was able to publish a series of poems and plays in 1790 using her real name during the post-revolutionary period. She was the first woman to publish a history of the Revolution, and it was titled A History of the Rise, Progress, and Termination of the American Revolution. Unfortunately, her portrayal of John Adams in this publication led to a rift between the two that lasted until 1812. Mercy Otis' influence over key figures in early America cannot be denied. She shared her insight into political, social, and spiritual issues of the time with our founding fathers and directed them to make well-educated decisions. She passed away in October of 1814 at the ripe old age of 87. She is a member of the National Women's Hall of Fame and is considered one of the first renowned female writers of early America. According to course guidelines, historians must be objective and honest in their investigations. Thank you.